Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to another video. My name is Betha and you're watching Betha Fau. As per the title of today's video, I'm actually going to be retouching my hair. I have done this a few times on my channel, so if you're new, please go and check on those videos. But I still felt that there is need to actually just show you like the whole process, how it unfolds. So this actually the length of my hair. I just like picked it out from the artificial lock. So this how far like it did reach before I installed. The remaining part is the part that I have actually wrapped it for the last 7 months. The part that is actually remaining from where the lock extension this height. So I have actually wrapped that in for the last 7 months, and actually we are on the 8th month, and I think my hair has pretty grown so much, but I also think it needs a trim because in the beginning I did actually have colored hair. When I did start this journey, I had a little bit of some brown, or not blonde, it was brown colored hair. I had dyed my hair brown, and it was a big fail because I ended up just like chopping it all out because it felt so thin. So I'm going to be returning this in, and if you are wondering, this is exactly the process that I take to install my artificial locks. I just like put the hair on into mini braids, then I take the mini braids and just like pull it through, or I don't know, install it inside the artificial locks using the crochet hook. So what I'm actually using here is just a crochet hook, and this lately or nowadays are so common. You can find them anywhere, including on a beauty store. So putting the crochet hook inside the or between the artificial locks can be a little bit difficult, but once you have done this couple of times, you'll just find it so easy and it will just start flowing. So I actually just returned this inside. I was so tempted to like undo the whole lock, but then I realized I will need to actually crochet some more extension or extended hair on the crochet on the artificial lock before I actually end up returning it in, because I need that to just like make it a little bit tight on the base of the artificial lock. Not actually tight, but anchored on the base of the artificial lock. So this is actually very easy, and I did learn this just by watching people doing this on social media. And most of the time I get my mini braids done at the salon because I'm very not good at parting, and also I feel I feel like not less motivated but impatient when my partings don't come out right. So I tend to just like go to the salon. I get the parting done at around 200 or 250 Kenyan shillings. Then I come and do install these artificial locks that I actually do make them by myself, because artificial locks are very costly. I don't know if it's just in Kenya or everywhere around the world, but these artificial locks are costly when it comes to making or getting the artificial locks, uh, retouching, taking them down. They are a little bit very costly. So I did learn the whole process myself, and I do actually make the locks. I do retouch them, I do install them, I do take them down on my own, and it's not easy, but also it's worth it, because I feel like at the salon things are very much exaggerated, starting from just like trying to get your hair look perfect. Like, how perfect can the look be? Like, how neat? When it comes to making your hair neat, the salonists feel or think that it needs to be tight to actually look neat, and they don't understand that your hair being tight actually breaks your hair, and also it gives you headaches and so on. So just to avoid that, especially with these artificial locks, like if you see them being very neat and so on, just know that person is undergoing so much pain. Like people have, if you go to the internet, you'll get a lot of stories about how much pain people are in after these locks are actually like installed or retouched. So that's why I just try and avoid the salons at all costs. So my retouch process is a little bit different. Some people use this method, but I feel like they still over manipulate or overdo it. The thing is, you need to understand that after a month, the retouch will be back to a messy look because your hair has grown, and that's just how. I don't know if that's about all hair types or just African hair type, but I can speak for my 4C hair. After a month, this retouch will be done and it will be looking as messy as it is looking before the retouch. So there's no need for me to go in and kill myself making it so tight so that it takes time or it doesn't like it's not unraveling but outgrow the look so quickly. So I do end up going in with an extra piece or of hair, the extension. Actually, this is just the natural twist hair. If you haven't seen this, just go in and Google darling natural twist hair or go in on my previous videos and just check them out because this I have used this hair before so many times on my channel. So this hair actually just it does mimic the afro textured hair, and actually when you do wrap it around it tends like to just hold on firm. It doesn't need gluing, burning at the ends or something like that. That's why I find it very convenient and easy to use. So what I do, I just go in with my hook and put it beneath the new growth, and then I do like put one short end attached to the lock and the other one I take it and actually just wrap it round and round until the extra extension of hair of natural hair twist extension is actually like done. Like it just hold on into itself. It's like it ends up like locking up together perfectly, so that just holds my hair until my next month. So I have actually done this, I think this is around the fourth or fifth time, because I tend to do it at least twice, not twice, once every 2 months or once every 6 weeks, that is 1 month 2 weeks, and this actually works perfect for me. And when I feel my hair is so messy, all I do is put it down on a low ponytail and just like use some edge control for my edges, and it looks perfectly and decent, and that has been working for me all this time. This is actually not my first set of lock because I have had previous locks or previous set of locks installed before, and I think one was before I actually no it I think I can't remember, but I think it was before I dyed my hair, because after I dyed my hair I did shave, and this is actually the first time that I'm trying the artificial locks again to just like help grow out my hair. So my first set was actually a color 1 stroke 30 because my I did end up using two types of kinky hair. The kinky hair is the hair that I used to make the artificial locks, or the hair that is used to make the artificial locks. And believe me, it's not an easy process. It does take time for me to come up with these 60 pieces of locks. I do like make it, I can say almost for a whole, I don't know, not let's not say, let's say around 3 months, and that is if I do go on breaks and just like not make anything at all someday. But in a day I think I can make 2.5 pieces because I'm a little bit slow. I know I'm a little bit slow and it does take time, and also I tend to like make them look in a certain way, so there is that. But people who actually have learned, like they do sell this artificial locks, they have like practiced this for some time, and their hands seems to be swift and adjust to different types and kinds and ways in which they can come up with the locks. So it tends to at least improve and make it a little bit easier. So here I was just feeling a little bit tired. I had worked all the way from the roast from my ear to the middle part, and as you can see, I think you can see the difference in the side of which has actually been retouched and the one has not been retouched yet. I'm just using my edge actually on the edges, and on when I go back to the previous rows in the middle of my head, I don't use edge. I don't use edge control. I just go up and brush, like bring the hair together. But if I feel the flyaways are still too much, then I go in and use the edge control. So I'm just like using the edge control to make sure my edges are well laid and separated from the other extension or the other lock, and that's how it goes. So I do twist it to just make it or to hold it down, then I go in and pick up my natural hair extension. So depending on the size of new growth, if it's just a little bit, I'll just use a little bit of the hair. If I feel it's too much, I'm going to use a little bit more so that it covers up my hair, because I don't want the new growth to go in and tangle. In fact, I do normally do more retouches because I don't want my hair tangling. At the roots, my hair tend to tangle a lot if just left alone, so I don't want it tangling. This wrapping helps it separate, like stay separate from each other and also stretched. So that's the beauty of doing the wrap method. And I have tried the gel method before, but uh, the retouch didn't last me so long, and also after the retouch I had a lot of growth that was just all over the place, so I didn't like it that much. I think if maybe I had sat under the dryer, it could have held in more. So this side has already been retouched, and this other side that I'm now holding has not yet been retouched. And now you can see the difference. You can see the difference. I think you can also see like the amount of times that I have retouched. Like there's a difference between the retouched area and the non-retouched area. And also the new braids, like the new locks, the first time I installed them and right now there's a difference, because the wrapped hairs tends to be looking a little bit shiny. It doesn't look like the locks tend to look a little bit rough, like they look more textured, like textured hair, while the wrapped part looks a little bit shiny. So I'll actually be working on the next side because I need my hair done before the end of today. Now, let's talk about how I have been maintaining my locks. I have been doing a lot, well, a lot, like in quotes, but not too much when I'm supposed to like take care of my hair with other extensions. And that's why I do love the locks. So with the locks, one thing that I normally do, like for my cycle, I normally wash them. I go in with my shampoo. I don't condition or anything because I'm a little bit scared that if I do go in with conditioning, especially the thick conditioners, it's gonna be stuck on my locks extensions, the artificial locks. So I just end up like washing them. But I think if I do this style again, I'll try and go in with deep conditioning, but I'll be using factory made products or products bought from the shop, not the kitchen made products, or condition or deep conditioners, because those ones, if they do stuck on the artificial locks, they are actually going to be smelling kitchen ingredients. So I'll actually just be using the deep conditioners bought from the shop. So I think I'll just be buying that and applying them on my roots, then putting in a cup for some time, then rinsing it out. But at the moment, I've just been washing in with shampoo only and a lot of water, because I don't want any products remaining on my locks. So I have been doing that. Then after that, I go in, moisturize my new growth with oil, and I have actually been using only the liquid oil, because I do feel the solid oil doesn't, it end up like making my scalp itchy faster, and also the buildup is too much. So the only solid oil that I'm using, or I would encourage, is shea butter, because shea butter does melt when it comes into contact with your skin, and that's because of the temperatures of your skin. It does make the shea butter that just melt away. So I've been using liquid oils, and the liquid oils that I've been using, it's actually the tea tree oil and the olive oil. So the tea tree oil is actually for my dandruff and my scalp, and it has been working miraculous. I saw somebody asking what product or what oil can they use for their dandruff and their itchy scalp. Tea tree works magic. If you haven't used tea tree, please go ahead and try that out. And it actually costs me 100 shillings. I do buy a small tin, or I think it's around to 100 ml, 100 ml bottle. So I can use that for 3 to 4 times, because it's just for the scalp and also mostly for my most itchy areas. So my most itchy areas are here at the top of my head. That is where I tend to put a lot of tea tree, or frequently oil it with tea tree. Now I also go in with olive oil, and the olive oil now is for everywhere else. Like I can just rub it on my new growth. I can also just put a little bit on my artificial locks to make it shine. And now I have made a mix of these two oils with some herbs, and for the herbs I'm actually going in with rosemary. I am also trying out the onions. I did make a video on how to make onion oil, so I just like use onions, garlic and onions, and I do just end up like cooking them or frying them with my olive oil, and that turns out to be very beneficial. So that's what I'm using for the oiling. Then after the oiling, I just go in and do my retouch, and that's it. Then I have to wait for another 2 months to actually undergo this process again. Now sometimes, because I do feel a little bit tired, I end up washing my hair and then leaving it to stay for 2 to 3 days or a week before I start the process of retouch. So after I do wash, I do oil it, but I don't retouch it immediately. So there's that bit. But so far, that's all that I have been doing. I haven't been comping, because there's no comping and taking it out. I have just been doing the retouches, and the retouches are so simple. Other times I also just end up like starting doing the retouch from the back, like I do halfway, then I leave it and let it rest before I actually go in and finish doing the top part. And that just also works for me, as long as the whole head is retouched before the other part becomes too much messy, so that it actually go ahead and edges at the same time. So it's actually that simple, and this actually has just helped me like reduce the amount of times I do take down my hair. I do get a new install, I do sit in the salon, so it has actually helped me a lot. So another thing I wanted to talk about is how these locks have been holding up. So actually, when I did make these locks, I was using hair that has already been used before, I think twice. So this was actually the third time I was using the same hair. And I was thinking that uh, I'll be done. Like once I do like use it, I'll be done. But I think they can still be reused. They're not in too much bad condition. They still look pretty good, and they have been holding up so nice. So I think kinky hair is the best to use when making locks or when getting your locks extensions, because the Mali hair tends to actually look a little bit dull after some time. So when I did make the locks, I felt like it was a little bit rough, and I felt the difference between using new hair, because I have used new hair extensions before. So I felt the difference. I felt like it was a little bit rough and it was actually falling out, shedding a little bit too much. And that's okay because it's a little bit old, and I was going in with a rough tool to just like make it tangle together. So I feel also the rough edges or the texture, it did look nice, but now the problem is it's attracting too much lint. So that's the only reason I'm going to be taking this out come next couple of months. So I still have 2 months more to go with this hair, but I'm going to be taking it out because I feel like the lint are just like doing their own thing, and it's coming it's overpowering my ability to deal with the hair. So I'll be taking it out, and actually I think I need either a new set of locks, or I'll go in with the soft locks. The soft locks are just the locks bought from the shop. I'll be going in with those. I haven't made my mind up yet about that, but don't be surprised to find me in the same locks when it comes at the end of when the beginning of the year, the beginning of the next year begins. Because with this, I actually tend to do the minimal for my hair. Like I do just sleep and be lazy on it, and I do gain new growth, and I do just like retain the whole length. So that's just a plus for me, and I think I should do this more often, despite the fact that at times I feel like I'm bored with the same kind of hairstyle. Now, the good thing about it, or the weird part about it, is I don't tend to style my hair a lot. So I think I need to like just start styling my hair a little bit more, so that I remove the boredom that actually comes with the long period protective hairstyles. And I think this should actually go in the world's record as the longest, like the longest period hairstyle or protective hairstyle one can have in their, hair care journey, whatever. I've thought of actually having locks, but now I keep on going forth and back about it. And when it comes to this, now the beauty of this, you see, I just like don't have to undergo the weird phase. I just like have to pick on the length that I do want, and that's it, and I get it installed. So now that's the beauty about this. That's why I feel like undergoing the procedure of having the real locks will actually take a toll on me. And also I feel like if I do reach the weird stage, and I feel like the growth is not the growth, I feel like taking them down, I'll actually do that, because like I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here and I don't know what to do. So I think this one do works perfectly for me. And I need to start making a new set. I haven't settled on that yet, but I know I do need to start on making a new set. And I think this time I'll actually make something that is a little bit thinner but long. I want to try around waist length. We can say waist length, but I need them a little bit thinner so that they don't uh, have a lot of weight, especially during washing, because when water gets into them, they tend to be a little bit heavier, just a little bit, not too much, a little bit heavier. So, and most of the time I do wash my own hair by myself. So I think I need to like reduce the amount of weight they do have. So I think I need them to be a little bit longer, but a little bit thinner. And also, that being said, I don't think I need to increase the number of locks I do get, because even my first time I did get only 60 locks, and now the size still remains the same, but my first set was a little bit short. It was almost, I can't say, it was between shoulder length and brass strap length. So it was just the same number of locks. I think this is just the best size for me to get. But now for the length, I need to work on that, and also the thickness of the locks. So I'll actually start making my next set soon. I hope I'll be doing that here on camera, because it does take a little bit more time, but it's actually worth it. It's very, very worth it. I do love experimenting on colors, but then I feel with the black ones, you tend to actually prolong or just stretch the amount of time you can have them on before going in and doing a retouch to make them look a little bit neat. Now, when it comes to colors, you'll have to actually retouch it more often to just like have a decent look. And as I had said before, I do love the messy look, but now we do have to go to work and look presentable. And I'm not saying the messy look isn't presentable. It's just that my edges do like look so messy when it actually comes to the messy look. They tend to just look like they're just on their own world. So I need to like just put them or pin them down. And I'm not so used to using gels, but it's something that I'll just learn slow but sure. So there's that bit. And I think I'll actually be putting in some colored hair extensions for the holiday, because I do love colored hair extensions. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Colored hair extensions. I don't know, but I do love those. Like, they just like brighten the day. They tend to make me look different, and also it's just beautiful for the holidays. So there is a lot that is actually going in, and we are almost taking this down. I'll be doing a video on that. I hope you do stay tuned. I hope you do subscribe, so that when I do upload that video, you'll be the first to be notified. And also, we do a length check together and see how much growth I have retained for all the 7, I think there'll be 9 months, because the goal was actually to go for 9 months. Another thing that I do actually need to introduce is actually doing challenges on hair products, not actually hair products, but hair oils. I think the products, yeah, hair oils, especially on how they just like, you know, make my hair grow. I think I should do 6 months, 6 months, or 3 to 4 months. Sorry, 3 to 4 months, and trying out just new products the next time I do have my artificial locks, because I think that would make it fun to just see how much hair a certain product can help me grow or retain or so on. So I should also include that on my regimen. But I think if you haven't tried out faux locks, you should try them out. The first time I did my faux locks or artificial locks, I think they were faux locks. The first time I did my faux locks, I did them at a salon, and believe me, that girl was actually just braiding my scalp into the extensions, and that really did hurt for days. Later, I did realize my head had actually like, it had, I don't know, wounds. Yeah, it had wounds, and I did feel so frustrated, so I did like stop doing them. But then after some time, I did learn that if you do them gently, they can actually do help your hair grow. So if you haven't tried artificial locks, or if you find your artificial locks to be very expensive, please go ahead and just try doing faux locks. So at the end here, I decided not to include my edges in these 2 locks, because I felt they were like trimming my edges or causing a lot of hair shed and hair fall. So I just like wrapped the new growth without the extra edges that were actually hanging out there. But as you can see, I am actually done like with the whole head, and this actually took me some time, but this because I was actually doing it very slowly and also concentrating on what I was watching. But this can actually take, if topmost, at least 3 to 4 hours to just like get my whole head retouched, especially if you have everything that you do need. I do tend to put the extra natural hair twist beneath or crocheted through the new growth so that it just holds on and it doesn't slip out. So there's that. When I put it on top without crocheting it through, I feel like it does tend to just like slip out, or after some time it tends to become a little bit loose. So I have done this with these two gels, or these two edge controls, and this is actually how it did turn out. So if this is something that you have actually been thinking about doing, it's worth it. It's worth doing it. And if you feel artificial locks are so expensive, go ahead and try the faux locks. So here I think you can see the lint, how the lint is actually just terrorizing me and my hair. But despite all that, everything is perfect, everything is looking good and crisp. You can't know that these locks or these extensions have been with me for the last few 6 months. So this actually looks very, very nice. You can see the back is all well done, and this has just been done by me, and I think I'm actually like learning more and more the more I do try to do this, and this has actually helped me retain a lot of length. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you did love. I hope you did understand everything that I'm just trying to put across. And if you do have any questions, please make sure you do go to the comment section, leave a comment, and I will get back to you.